Oh, what's this? It's a video. It's a video so close after the last one. So I'm gonna make some food because it's 7 a.m. and I haven't slept and I'm hungry. We need some flour. And you don't need to measure it, just feel for it. That looks like enough. Add a bit more flour. You need to add some salt. Bread is really easy. It's 4 ingredients. You do not need a lot for bread. It is just flour, salt, sugar, and yeast. Scratch that. 5 ingredients. You need water as well. This is just water. You just water in there, just a little bit, and then you put your whole hand in and you mix. If you want it to last, if you want it to proof for longer, cover it with a towel. But if you're hungry and you want food now, completely seal it with cling film or saran wrap, and just don't leave it on for too long, or otherwise you will accidentally make sourdough. This is what it looks like currently. There is some cling film to block out some of the air. It is very wet, so I've just sprinkled both top and bottom with some flour, just so when it proofs, this will only take about an hour to proof. Or, just leave it however long you want and accidentally make sourdough. But we're not making sourdough. So I'm gonna try and leave it an hour, or at least half an hour, because I want cheesy garlic balls. 17 minutes left. I've got heartburn, but 17 minutes left until the dough is proofed from the 30 minutes that I left it for. Moving over, you can probably see the clouding on here. That means that it's actually working and it's trapping the heat inside. It's trapping heat, so it's gonna, normal bread will just rise once you do the poke test. For those who don't know what the poke test is, you grab your dough and you poke it, and usually it will rise back up after you've poked it. So that's what I like to do to test if my bread is actually ready. And it's super easy, and you don't need to do all the fancy stuff. You just poke, and it's your hands. No one cares unless, you care. But again, you should be washing your hands if you're doing baking. So, you've got your hands messy, you've mixed everything. Then you wash your hands, you do this, which is what I did, and then when the timer goes off, usually you should leave it about an hour or 2 if you're using cling film, up to about 4 if you're using a tea towel, and like this, right? So it should be like this if you're using a tea towel. But we're not using a tea towel, although it may speed up the process. So, whilst the timer is getting ready, we're going to be prepping. This is just a average cake tin, but I have a hack. Grab any air fryer paper liners. Because it's grease-proof paper, right? You put it in here and it works so well. And I genuinely, I figured this out making a cake, and I was like, oh, I don't want to grease the whole pan, it's just so much effort. So I went with the lazy route. So yeah, this is actually a really good brand. So they are not sponsoring me, by the way. I just really like the brand. "13 minutes left. So let's grab the other ingredients that we'll need. Whilst we're here, I will show you how to make garlic butter because, as you can see, I'm a little out. So grab any butter. I have some extras here. And just scoop and place. And just keep doing that until you've got enough. Because I use garlic butter quite a lot. And it just saves buying a bunch. You know what? I'm just gonna use the rest of this butter because I do have an extra thing of butter. Just for this, so I'm just gonna what you do, you grab all your old butter and you mix it as well as you can, which isn't going to be the best because there's not really a lot left. So what I'm going to do, greasy hands. Here is some garlic paste. Oh my god. Oh my days, I cannot. My hand is covered in hair. This is... There we go. It's a bit better. There we go. It's loads more garlicky now. And then we just mix that. So we need some parsley, some oregano, last but not least, basil. And there we go. Here is some garlic butter, which took way too long. Usually doesn't take this long, but oh well. Now I can reuse this. Let me grab there we go, it says garlic on the top. Hopefully that doesn't run out or rub out. We have 6 minutes left on the timer, so I'm just gonna pause the recording and then I will come back in 6 minutes. Right. It is about 3 minutes left. I've just preheated the oven and this is almost ready, so can't wait. Alright, we've got it. I've just sprinkled some flour on the counter, so let's just take this. It's very well, it definitely does not want to become bread, but you are becoming bread whether you like it or not. There we go. So it is now empty, so now all we need to do is soak this so that the dough does not harden onto the bowl. I'm going to pause to skip ahead a little bit, and when it's done I will let you guys know. Once you have a ball, you flatten it. As well as you can. Usually you'd find an extra container for this. So what I'm just gonna do is I'm just gonna flatten it. Cheese, push, like push, and then wrap it up nice and snug until you can roll the bottom bit off your hand and into the pan. And just repeat that until you've got no more dough left. Halfway through, I've had to resort to using flour to stick on my hands to make sure this doesn't happen. This usually just happens when the dough hasn't proofed enough, but it's fine. Once these have done and like the cheese is like almost melted, I'm gonna add some garlic butter and then add some extra more cheese. In it goes for another 5 5 minutes. Also, whilst I was waiting for that to cook, for the 10 minutes it was in there, like, I mean that's from just, but I used some stuff on the oven. You know, I really should be wearing my apron that's like at the back of my hair, right? I really should be wearing it because I'm quite a messy cook, as you can see from my pajamas. I genuinely want to try one right now, but I know it will burn my mouth off because it's just come out of the oven. Right. Bad idea, but it's hard to hold on its own. Probably not the healthiest breakfast, but at least I'm eating something. Absolutely. Over that. Thank you for following me on this journey. I'm going to finish the rest of these whilst I bed rot. So if you like it, give a thumbs up, let me know, and let me know what other things I should try and make. I will admit this is a play on the Christmas Town show that I did a few years back. Probably one of my first videos that I made that's like 40 minutes long. I doubt anyone wants to watch that, so here we are. Cheesy garlic balls. in literally under an hour to make on your own. It may take a little bit more than an hour if you don't want your dough to stick to to your hands, my hands. Unless you don't want the dough to stick to your hands as often as it did with me. So give me a like, give me a follow, do whatever. Let me know if you want to see more of me by liking and commenting about what you want to see next and all that. And stay procrastinating. I haven't used that outro in a while.